Hood's Nest, volume, who gives a shit? What volume are we on?
I think it's 7.
Six?
I think it's
Seven?
6 or 7.
We're not being consistently
Took
podcasters.
4 weeks off.
I mean, when the now hiring podcast manager
Position needed.
position needed, can start ASAP. Salary negotiable.
Mm-hmm.
Vacation time, sure.
Yep.
Um,
Starts with 4 weeks vacation.
Yeah.
Paid vacation.
Hostile work environment.
Must adapt to the environment and the
Must.
language used here.
Yes, must be okay with no HR department.
Uh-huh.
Yes, but we do need somebody. We need somebody to run our podcast because we're too stupid to figure it out.
We're IT dumb.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what I do with my computer.
Yeah.
And then if my computer doesn't work after the third time, I'm screaming at RJ Young.
Uh-huh.
Like they're the biggest idiots in the world, and they're like, "Did you do your authenticator thing?" I'm
Right.
like, "God,
Dude,
Damn it!
that authenticator
Oh, I
app,
know.
especially getting in the tax software now,
Yeah.
is such a freaking
because it doesn't work half the time."
Yeah. Oh, I know. It says that you don't have the right code.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only.
Oh, yeah. It says you don't have the right code, and
Yeah.
you type the same code in 10
Yeah.
times, and it doesn't work.
Oh, dude, anytime I take an extended amount of time away from my computer,
Yeah.
I always forget about the authenticator, and I think that something's wrong with my wireless.
Yeah.
So I'll start bitching at first about the wireless,
Yeah.
which is it's not the wireless, and then I'll start bitching about the computer. No, it's just the fact that I'm an idiot. And I
What
forgot.
always happens to me is when something's like pressing, someone needs something, and it's like, oh, you need to change your Microsoft
Yeah, yeah.
your Outlook or Microsoft password, and it's like when you change that, you got to change
Oh.
it and everything. And it's,
Have you ever gone to the actual Microsoft
yeah, it sucks.
website?
Yeah, oh, it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's like the dark web.
Yeah.
You know, it's like go to Microsoft website. No, RJ Young can deal with that. I'm not typing that because you start fucking with that and it will change your whole life.
Yeah.
Like all your
Well,
passwords.
something happened today with the licensing with it on Microsoft. Did you know about that?
No,
Oh god.
I don't want to know.
She fixed it. I think Liza fixed it.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
By the time she did something,
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
had to go to Boyd Buchanan.
She's a buck.
She's drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, she's a full buck.
She's a
now.
freaking Boyd mom. Hashtag Boyd mom.
Mhm.
Hashtag
She's
Boyd
even in a
mom.
group.
Do you think anybody will ever listen to this?
Yeah.
How long's it been?
I think it's been 3 or 4 weeks at least.
What are we talking about? We're talking about college football.
Yeah, we definitely need to talk about college
Catch
football.
up on sports. Catch up
Yeah.
on sports.
Yeah.
A little local action.
Yeah.
A plane crashed on Shallowford
Plane
Road.
crash. Yeah, right by the airport.
Jeez.
I don't think anyone died though.
Can you imagine being in that plane?
No, it was like
And
a
you're
little,
like, dude, I'm home.
yeah.
Hey, mom, your cell service comes back on, and you're texting, and the next thing you know, your shit is going down on Shallowford Road.
We're coming down. That's terrible.
It was terrible. When I saw it, I thought, oh, man.
It was
I
like a
want to
little.
know who was on it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a small little plane.
What an experience. It's almost, you ever seen that part in that movie, Almost Famous, where they think they're going to die and they start confessing, like, and he goes, look at, I'm gay. Like,
I don't remember that part.
Yeah.
I've seen the movie, but I don't remember that
They
part.
start like, we're going to die anyways. Everybody just say what you feel. And the guy's
Uh-huh.
like, I'm gay. And then he didn't die. And like the lights click back on. They're like, oh, shit.
Oh no!
I can't imagine, though, because we used to, when Cooper, my 6-year-old, had his clubfoot stuff, we would get some charitable place used to fly us from Chattanooga to St. Louis.
Mhm.
And you're talking, I mean, Rachel threw up every single time. I mean, you were literally
Jeez.
like this.
Little puddle jumper.
It was a crop duster.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, I could do like this and touch the pilot.
Uh huh.
And I was like, we're dead. If there's like a raindrop, it's
Just,
just going to.
y'all in the plane.
Yeah,
as
that's it. That's
passengers?
all that could
Yeah.
fit. Our luggage, you couldn't take more than a backpack.
Dang.
But it was like, it's called Wings of Hope. But dude, I mean, you talk about
Wings of hope.
Wings of Hope.
Yeah, seriously. Say a prayer before you go up in that thing.
it was the first time we got in, I was just like, I was being okay with dying.
Uh huh.
You know, you're just like, I could die today.
It
I'm
happens,
okay with
it-
that. Yeah. I'm not going to be nervous this whole time. I'm just
Yeah.
accepting the fact I might die. I'm fine. That's cool. Like I've lived a good life. But yeah, if there was any sign of rain, you were grounded.
Yeah.
But I mean, think about how much money you saved from not having
Oh,
to.
I'm sure.
And if you ever drove to St. Louis,
Yeah,
That's a
I've
bad-
actually driven to St. Louis quite a bit.
It's a bad drive.
It's not great.
It's not fun.
Yeah, it's not great.
Anytime you got to go over old the actual Rocky
Actual
Top.
Rocky Top,
Yeah.
dude. I never even knew there was an actual
Yeah.
Rocky Top until then. Yeah,
There is.
yeah.
So what about we'll start off by talking sports and the weekend, because I claimed that it was one of the greatest sports weekends
You did.
for a gambler.
I'm sorry
For
for
somebody that likes to gamble and sit and his wife's out of town for 4 days.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Let's talk about that stupid Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. How ridiculous was that? It was terrible. It was a terrible fight.
I wish we could put up on the greatest part of it was that announcer.
Yeah.
And if you watched the before fight, I mean, there was something wrong with that guy.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was like, he was flowing. Like if you just heard his voice on the radio,
Yeah.
but then to watch him,
Mhm.
I mean, there was something wrong with that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, and then Rosie Perez and Roy Jones Jr. like,
Oh yeah. That was
Like-
odd. Why was she on there?
I think I didn't really like read it, but I think it's because she was from whatever town Mike Tyson's from. Like
Okay.
she's from that part of Brooklyn or Bed-Stuy.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, random ass like.
Uh-huh.
I
I
mean,
always think about her.
to
From,
me though, like I didn't go into it thinking that I'm watching a boxing match.
yeah.
I
No,
went
me
in-
either.
I went into
yeah.
it being like, you know what? I want to watch some dumb shit,
Yeah.
and like, there's nothing on tonight.
I feel
and
like that's
this is
all
great.
the-
I can bet on it because I knew, and I'm mad at myself for not betting more, but I knew that nobody's going to knock anybody out. I knew it was
No.
going to go the whole way.
No.
So there was the bet, will this fight go the distance? And it was actually like a plus, like you bet 100, you won 180. So like it was
Dang.
actual,
Yeah,
it was actually picked to not go the distance. And I was like, there's no way this shit's not rigged.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
This is rigged.
100%.
Like, you're reading all this stuff like,
No uppercuts. Apparently that was in the contract. No one could throw uppercuts.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure, and I don't know, there's a bunch of shit after the fight, like scripts leaked, and none of the
Yeah.
scripts are right. But I've heard consistently that if either one of them knocked the other one out in the first round or two, Mike Tyson wouldn't got paid any money. I heard that.
Jeez.
It's-
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because, like, who knows in an actual boxing fight?
Right.
You know, I mean, they are what they are. Like,
Right.
it's Jake Paul is an entertainer, and he does this shit and makes gazillions of dollars.
Yeah.
So shake his hand.
Seriously. Oh, absolutely.
I don't like him personally,
yeah.
but as far as like what he's done,
Yeah.
he's hook, line, and sinkered a
All
lot
the
of people.
every single yeah.
Because it's like everybody wants to watch him get the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he knows it.
He knows it. And
He knows it.
totally lives by that.
Yeah.
And he's fine with it.
And he's said it. He
But
said
yeah, I mean,
it multiple times.
Everybody was like, you know, there's a 0.0001 chance Mike Tyson knocks him out. I'm going to be there and I want to watch
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. Well, that's with all the fights that he's
It's like
in.
Tiger Woods. Like, I don't think people hate Tiger Woods as much as Jake Paul, but people watched no matter what. They
Mhm.
wanted to see him lose or bogey or get mad.
Right.
You know, like Jake Paul is like, they want to see
Absolute
him.
carnage
They
with him.
everybody wanted to see, because it's like everybody kind of knew what the whole deal was, but everybody also knows that Mike Tyson is a psycho
Mhm.
and that he may just off
Snap.
script,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, lose his shit.
Yeah.
I mean, he may not knock him out, but he may like, you know,
Hurt
like,
him.
Yeah, he may like go down there and bite him on the belly.
Yeah.
Some,
Seriously.
something just where you just want to be watching. Like, I knew it.
Which I think a lot of people were hoping for something like that.
I mean, that was the whole aura around the whole thing. Is like it's just a big stupid shit
Yeah.
show.
It's almost like a WWE fight,
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
Yeah, like I don't think anybody was like. I mean, the Roy Jones Jr. was like, he was terrible. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
the
the whole like, I wish you could bring up like where before the fight it was like them standing up, and it was the goofy white guy with glasses, Rosie Perez, and Roy
Right.
Jones Jr.
Mhm.
And it was the worst shit.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
I've
terrible
ever seen.
commentating.
Yeah.
Terrible
And
commentating.
he's like looking out in the audience, and he has nothing to say except the time that he got punched in the stomach by Mike when they fought, which was even worse than that fight.
Oh, yeah.
But he said, you know, he punched like a mule. He said it like 700 times.
Mhm.
It was like, could you have got Snoop Dogg? You know,
Seriously.
like Snoop Dogg's at least, like Snoop Dogg did the Roy Jones Jr. Mike Tyson fight. He's like, I feel like I'm at a family barbecue and my uncles are fighting.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously, they should have. They should.
Yeah, I should have had Kevin Hart and
Kevin
Snoop
Hart,
Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. That would have been
Get
funny.
the Olympic crew. Get
Yeah.
Get Charles Barkley. Get anybody
Uh-huh.
to commentate on that game. But
Yeah.
Rosie Perez,
Yeah, I don't
I
understand
mean, the
that.
last thing she was in was White Men Can't Jump.
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Well, I always think about her in that movie was Nicolas Cage, where he's a cop, and they win the don't they win the
Oh, yeah,
lottery?
the lottery ticket?
Yeah, they win the lottery ticket.
What
yeah,
is the name? I think of her as the girlfriend of Woody Harrelson in White Man
In
Can't
White
Jump,
Man
where
Can't
she's
Jump,
like,
yeah.
Billy,
Uh-huh.
Billy, you want to have sex, Billy? Like, I always hated her in that. Like that was one of my. That's probably top 3-5 all-time movie of all time.
Yeah.
I could watch that movie over and over.
Yeah.
I've actually
been a
took
long
the kids to Venice
time.
Beach to play there.
Yeah.
They got murals like of Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson there.
Woody Harrelson.
Oh,
Yeah.
but she was like the whole reason. Like, if you wanted a reason not to watch it, it was her.
Yeah.
And now, sometime later, she's
Yeah,
like,
I thought that was
boxing
so
analyst.
weird. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was so weird why they chose those people to commentate that.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, I won money. I took the distance. When it went the distance, when I saw, like, about after the third round, where you're kind of like, okay, this is going to be what everybody thought it was.
Yeah,
Like, this
yeah.
is a joke. Like, this is, because I thought there might be a chance he goes off. Like, you knew Jake Paul would skip it. It's all
Right.
about the money.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, like I don't know. I wish both of those guys would get their ass kicked, and I think 99% of the
Mhm.
world wants to watch that.
100%.
And I'm surprised they won't set that up.
Yeah.
But then it's over.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
I
When
think
he-
that's
when
the thing.
When he gets his ass knocked out, it's over.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
this whole show is completely
Yeah,
over.
it's because everyone gets finally what they wanted to see.
Yeah,
Is
and
him
they're not
getting his
gonna
ass
get-
beat.
yeah.
No, I mean, because like the only legitimate boxing match that he has had is with Tommy Fury. Did your thing mess up? Can you not hear yourself?
It's like strangling me.
Oh shit!
Oh shit. I think I got it. Oh, we're good. Yeah, Liza's trying to set me up to die.
Uh-huh. Her and Rachel
All the women in my life
plotting to kill you.
trying to freaking dose me with like, some sort of medicine. I think it probably might be a joint effort between Rachel and Liza to murder me at
Uh-huh.
some point, which
We also
that's how I go. That's
Can't-
how I go.
can't say I didn't see it coming, cops.
They would be number 1 and 2 suspects.
Oh,
on the list. If I
100%.
go missing or I die.
Uh-huh.
I wish you would just come in here and sit down and talk.
Uh-huh.
What's the chances?
Liza?
Yeah,
She won't.
0.
No. We'll have to convince her to do it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, so that was
Yeah, that's so what about the Vols?
yeah. I mean, then you had Saturday. You had all the college football, which that was really the only good game, wasn't it?
Vols is good.
Unless you care about BYU and those shit teams that are going to get in. And,
I actually watched a little bit of that BYU game because on game day they were talking about Kansas because
yeah,
the line was only like 3.
yeah.
So I watched part of that game, and then who did Florida play? Florida beat LSU.
Oh, they killed them.
Yeah, Florida beat LSU,
Yeah.
and then there was that the noon game? There was a noon game, and then there was a
No, they tried to.
I
They're
can't
trying to
think.
make Colorado. They're trying to make people care about Dion in Colorado,
Yeah.
and if they get in the playoff,
dude.
I'm just
Dude.
I would rather watch a Jake Paul.
The
fight.
whole Big 12, dude, is just
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So-
don't know. I would love to see a playoff atmosphere at Neyland Stadium. That would be cool.
It would be
Like
sick.
I have said, like, this is not the year Tennessee is going to win a national championship. I don't think there's any way.
They're
gonna be-
they're getting closer.
We're in the conversation.
Yeah, they're
Tennessee
getting closer.
fans, chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Chill out. We're there. We're talked about.
Yep.
Like, yes, in the Georgia game, there was a few calls that didn't go our way, but that's not why we lost the game.
No.
We
I
lost
thought
the
we
game
I thought
because-
we played pretty well. I thought we played pretty well.
Yeah.
Second half obviously could have been better. Some calls didn't go our way, but
But that's not why we lost. Like, I was kind of irritated that Heupel, the way he handles the press conferences after the
that
game.
post conference, yeah.
Yeah,
he was
I don't
pissed.
know. That kind of shit just kind of, like, I know you're mad, and then they're like, so what'd you think of the game that you just lost? And you're just like, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
like
how do you think I feel?
Yeah. I mean, especially something like that where, like, your job depends on wins and losses
Yeah.
and recruiting and,
Yeah.
all that stuff. But Yeah, like I wish he would just take the high road with officiating because every game has shitty.
Every game has
every
shitty
game
calls.
there's going to be a call that's suspect. Like
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I saw, and we talked about it, was we couldn't get to Carson Beck the entire game. The
didn't touch
entire
him.
game.
Didn't touch him.
Yeah.
He sat back there and did whatever he wanted to do, and then when they needed it, he'd take off. He's athletic.
Mhm.
3rd and 7, boom, he's going to get 8 yards, get a first down,
Yep.
and then he got in a rhythm. And we couldn't get him out of a rhythm.
Yep.
We couldn't get to him. So that was, in my opinion, that was the whole game. Like I don't know what the time of possession was in the second half, but it seemed like Georgia had the ball the whole time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think if we could have created some sort of turnover, I mean, that's the thing, like momentum.
Well, and we had there was a couple chances for it too.
Yeah.
There were a couple fumbles. One of them went
Yeah.
out of bounds. There's
Yeah.
a long went out of bounds.
There was the one where when I watched it live, I was like, that's a fumble.
Yeah.
He caught it. He turned around.
Yes.
But then they replayed it, and I was like, eh.
And wasn't there another one where Carson Beck did a quick little shovel pass? He caught it and turned and fumbled. Incomplete
Yeah.
pass.
It was a forward pass, but it was really a handoff.
Yeah.
But that's why they do those. Is because
Oh, yeah.
they.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
it's
so-
technically a pass.
I mean, but I mean, there's a lot of luck in those games.
Yeah.
And Georgia got lucky on
Mhm.
probably about 4 or 5 things, and sometimes those things don't go. But that's how it all is.
That's how it is.
I mean,
Yeah,
It just.
yeah.
But I mean, I've never ever in my whole life of it playing sports or anything been like we lost because of the officiating.
Yeah.
I hate when people do that.
Yeah.
Kentucky basketball fans, y'all do it. Like
Yeah.
Kentucky basketball fans are the worst
Uh-huh.
about officiating.
Yeah.
They could beat somebody by 70 and they'll be like, yeah, we should have won by 75 because there's a couple of calls that just didn't go our way.
Uh-huh.
You know? Like, I just like, shut up. Gosh, man. I'll be on at Tennessee game. I think I said it on here. Like, we were winning by like 40 over like Mississippi State. I had season tickets a couple years ago. And we're spanking them by 40. And these freaking morons behind me are bitching about the calls.
Jeez.
I was like, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Like,
that's so
like,
annoying.
First of all, just leave. You're up by 40. You
Yeah.
know, like, you don't have to sit here and scream at the officials.
Yeah.
Like, how much do officials make?
I mean,
I think
like
in
the
the
officials in like the
200,000?
NBA, I think the pro officials and the ones that are like
Yeah.
reffing big time college games, like in the
Yeah.
bigger conferences, I think they make pretty good money.
So what'd you think of the rankings of them leaving Tennessee out?
I'm not surprised that they didn't, or that they did leave Tennessee out right now. I don't know. There's a lot of things that can still happen. I mean, Indiana's playing Ohio State this weekend, or is it this weekend or next? Either way, they're playing them at some point. I don't think. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and assume that Ohio State's going to beat Indiana. Indiana hasn't freaking played anybody.
ain't played
Ohio State
nobody.
really hasn't played anybody either.
Well, I mean, I guess it's just weird because Tennessee's number 10, and it's a 12-team playoff, right?
And they're out. Yeah, because and that's the issue is they've got those automatic bids from the other conferences.
Those shitty teams.
And that's what's pushing us out.
Like
yeah.
Boise State and BYU.
Yep.
Well, I think the good thing that will come out of this, like I do like the fact that Boise State and BYU and all these teams get their shot.
Yeah.
Because in the past they would have never been in the top 4.
Sure.
So you got it now.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope they get the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah.
And then we can get back to real football.
Right.
Because
right.
like I don't think Boise State, but I don't know, man. Like Miami, I feel like Miami's overrated. I don't feel like.
Well, they got beat by Georgia
Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they've been in some barn burners with shitty teams.
Yeah.
Like they're not that good.
Yeah.
And like who knows if SMU? I mean, they could have a good team, but Notre Dame, sucks.
Yeah.
Indiana,
God,
hasn't played anybody. Penn State, they're the old Clemson of the past. Like, yeah, I mean, Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia. Those are pretty.
Well, just in the SEC alone, like we were saying, it's going to be weird with what they do with the conference champion and then whoever loses the conference championship. Because it's probably going to be a 3-loss team, but they made it to the SEC championship. Are you going to still try and put them in?
That'll be a conundrum.
Yeah. And then it's like you were saying, maybe Tennessee and like some of these other teams that don't go to the SEC championship, maybe they're in a better position.
Yeah.
You know?
I think Notre Dame should be kicked out of the top 10 just for losing to Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have not played anybody. Anybody.
Why don't you throw a couple SEC? You're independent. You can fill out your whole schedule how you want to.
I've always had a distaste for the Irish.
Why don't you throw an Alabama in there or throw a
I mean, don't they typically play? Well, that's the thing that does kind of suck is like you say Indiana's got a terrible schedule, but they couldn't control that Michigan sucked this year.
Right. Yeah.
Same with like Notre Dame. Like typically they play USC.
Yeah. USC's terrible this year.
So that's kind of the other side of it. But I still think if you lost to Northern Illinois, you should automatically be.
Yeah.
You should be. And then their big game is Army.
I hope Army beats them so bad.
I do too, but
I don't think it's going to happen.
That just out of pure luck being against me in life, that Notre Dame will get it over Tennessee.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, Texas has A&M.
Yeah.
Right at the end of the season, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's this week or next week.
If they lose to them, there will be all these tiebreakers that who knows.
Yeah, because I mean, if Alabama
will be first,
Alabama wins out, it'll probably be
right if it's 2 losses, because they lost to Kentucky and LSU, and those 2 aren't in there.
Texas will only have 1 loss, right?
They lost to Georgia, but they lose to A&M.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, if they lose to A&M, dude, yeah, it'll be like a 6-way.
I feel like it would be Ole Miss because Ole Miss lost to LSU and Kentucky, and none of those teams are in.
Yeah.
So the tiebreakers wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't want to play Ole Miss.
No, I wouldn't either.
I'm glad we don't got fucked with Ole Miss. Like
I'm glad we don't play South Carolina either.
Yeah. You catch Georgia in Athens at 7:30 on Saturday, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
You catch, of course, Ole Miss lost to Kentucky at home.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. The SEC's been just crazy this year.
Yeah. I mean, how do you lose to Kentucky at home and you played like you did over the last couple of weeks? I mean, they must have been looking forward to the next week. Yeah. There has to be some reason to lose to Kentucky at home by it.
Well, Georgia almost lost to them. They only beat them by a point.
Well, we did. We took them. It went to overtime. Or that was Florida.
That was Florida.
But, I mean, Kentucky had, like, receivers playing quarterback and shit. Like they had.
It was like that one year when we got beat by their wide receiver at quarterback.
Yeah. They put in, like, Wes Welker at quarterback. And they were just
500 rushing yards.
Singing. It's like it was a year we got beat by that little shit from Missouri. That, like, 5'8". Was that last year?
That was last year.
He had, like, a career.
Wait, was that last year? Yeah, it was last year.
He was a little, like, 5'7" white guy, ran for, like, 400 yards on us.
Yeah.
I was throwing stuff in my house that game because I was like, how? You know he's gonna get the ball.
Oh, I know.
Like, can you smush the line in a little bit? Like
I know. That sucked.
But, yeah, that's I don't know. I'm not really – this weekend – there's really nothing on except the Indiana-Ohio State game and Army because Tennessee plays UTEP.
UTEP, yeah.
Georgia is off, or no? Does Georgia play anybody?
I don't know who Georgia plays.
Or Alabama, because Alabama's obviously got Auburn. Georgia's got Georgia Tech. You'll have the rival, but I don't think that's till next week. That's usually on Thanksgiving.
Right.
But no, I'm pretty excited about the 12 team as long as you don't have like 4 teams like BYU, Boise State, Notre Dame, Colorado.
Right. Right. Yeah, I don't see more than at this point. I don't see more than one Big 12 team getting in. Maybe 2. I don't know. Maybe 2.
So who's winning the ACC?
What's Boise State in now?
Big 12, maybe.
Are they in the Big 12?
There with BYU.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I don't know. It's really 3 conferences.
Yeah.
Well, the ACC, I guess.
You got the ACC still. Yeah.
Who's winning the ACC?
But there's some weird. There's a couple. Yeah, like there's a couple weird teams that are in the ACC that shouldn't be in the.
Well, that's Miami. Miami's in the ACC with Clemson and.
But they've been in it. But there's a couple teams that they threw in that's just like, why the fuck are y'all in the ACC? Yeah. Yeah.
What? Yeah, SMU. Like the last time I've ever heard of SMU was like Eric Dickerson.
Yeah.
Back in 1982 or something. I was like, where did that? What is that? Is that in Texas?
Southern Methodist University. Yeah, it's in Texas.
Yeah.
Well, they got in trouble forever ago for recruiting.
That was the Pony Express thing, wasn't it? Like
yeah.
Eric Dickerson and all those guys, but yeah, where'd they come from?
I know.
Like if they can make it, UTC can make it.
Seriously.
That's the way I figure.
Yeah, seriously.
If they can, we can.
It's going to be interesting. There's going to be a couple SEC teams I think that can just get screwed just because of the automatic bids from the other conferences.
At least it's 12 teams, though.
Yeah.
Like I think they'll probably work the kinks out. But it's just like basketball. You let 64 teams in, and then it grew to 70.
Right.
And then it grew to play-in games. And it's like, where does it stop?
It doesn't stop.
Because there's always going to be teams that are like, Should have got in.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we had the UFC. You don't watch UFC anymore, do you?
It's not as much as I used to. Yeah. I don't know. Kind of falling out of love with it.
Well, they oversaturated it.
Yeah.
Kind of, don't you think? Like,
yeah.
It seemed to be like you had the Conor McGregor,
Khabib era, like the prime, that prime era. Like after they stopped fighting is kind of where I just kind of lost touch with it.
Yeah, I mean it's such a money pit and a sinkhole for the audience.
Yeah,
I just I watch it just because it's not like, especially if it's on at midnight.
Something to bet on.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. That's the 100% reason
Something
that I even
on.
watch it. Like if I didn't bet on it, I wouldn't watch it. But I was pretty confident John Bon Jones was going to win. So I took him. But what I always do, because the odds are always bad, is I'll bet the wrong, it's either by submission or TKO. I'm always wrong.
Always wrong on that.
Always wrong. Like I'll be like TKO, KO, and next thing I know, he's choking him out.
No,
let him go. Yeah. And then, there was other fights that were pretty good. There was one fight that night that was really good. And the one guy is a total psycho. Because it was very cool to watch somebody get their ass kicked that bad, but just not, he was not going to give up.
Yeah.
He was fighting, it's not Max Holloway, but it's somebody, Charles Oliveira.
Oh, okay.
Was fighting the little white guy. God. There's like three of them that look all the same. There's like the Colby Covington guy.
Right.
And
Michael Chandler. But I don't think he's in that weight class.
I think it was Michael Chandler.
Was it Michael Chandler?
Is he psycho?
Fine psycho.
I mean,
I think all of them are a little psycho.
For 4 rounds. And then the 5th round, it just took one. He hit one punch, and then it's like he got a burst of energy. But he was on the mat for 4 straight rounds getting the shit choked out of him, and he never quit. But how do you have the energy? Because you're fighting the whole time. You're fighting somebody from choking you, so you're wearing out. I mean, the amount of cardio you have to be in.
It's unbelievable.
I would love to be in that shape, but I would never do what it took to get there.
It's it's like what it takes to get to that cardio shape is pretty astounding.
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, because what do you train for a fight like that? Like 3 months? Like
I think a normal camp is probably 3 to 4 months.
So you don't see
maybe more.
You don't see
a lot of those guys. Yeah, I think they once they go off, it's like Rocky Balboa style.
Like you're in Russia with the snow.
Yeah,
carrying logs.
Yeah, lifting wagons.
Oh my! What do you eat? Like for 3 months before a fight like that,
you're on a very regimented diet.
I mean, obviously
day in day out.
Upset the belly.
Yeah, well, a lot of them are they're cutting too, because I mean, a lot of those dudes are walking around 20 pounds heavier than what they fight at. So I mean, you're cutting and training and making weight.
It's got to be bad for your body.
Right?
Oh
yeah, well yeah, it's crazy.
What did I say that guy's name was? Charles Oliveira.
Yeah,
It's driving me crazy. I can't think of. Michael Chandler.
Oh, it was Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael Chandler. Because that Charles Oliveira dude, I feel like him and Max Holloway are in every pay-per-view. And they seem like the old guys, but then they pull off I don't know. They're just like the legendary guys.
Yeah, they've been fighting for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't I used to like watching Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I like that.
That's when I still was paying attention to it, when he was fighting.
Well, I think that's what pulls people in, and it's the same thing with Mike Tyson. Like, people want that undefeated guy that can knock somebody out in 15 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Francis Ngannou was like, it's over in the first round.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine that dude hitting you?
No.
I mean, he'd like... No,
I would scream. I would climb over that fucking fence and run. If I was...
Throw the towel in. Throw it in.
That dude was coming after me.
Dude, how much money would it take for you to go in the ring one 5-minute round with him? How much money?
I mean, none, because I would die. I think he would kill me.
Yeah.
I think he would probably kill me.
How much money would it take for you to just say, hey, Ryan, you got to fight him for 1 round? I mean, 5 minutes.
I'm not fast, so I can't outrun him. I definitely can't hurt him. Like, no punch, kick, bite.
Right.
I mean, but I'd probably do it for $1 million.
if he not like he, TKOs you, he knocks you out or submits you, you still get the money.
Yeah.
What's the
man.
number?
I don't know. I mean, I'd do it for $1 million for sure.
Yeah.
I'd probably be like, if you can pay this building off, you can kill me.
What would your strategy be? You get to train though. You get to train for let's say a couple months. You can train for like 1 or 2 months.
I'm sticking and moving.
Yeah.
I'm sticking and moving like fucking Glass
just
Joe
running.
and Mike Tyson.
Yeah, just jab, move.
Run.
Yeah.
Jab, run. Jab. How much time I got left?
I'm looking
the whole time I'm looking and being like, I want to hear that. I want to hear them two boards. But yeah, I mean, you're not going to win.
No.
Like, I don't think.
You're surviving.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I could throw any sort of punch.
No. He's not going to feel it. I mean, it's not even.
That would hurt him.
No.
You know.
And trying, like, there's no point. I mean, dude, I don't know how big he is. I mean, obviously he fights heavyweight, but I mean, he's like, what, 6'4", 6'5", 240?
Yeah, or
and move, like, I mean, dude.
He's fast as a freaking cheetah.
Yeah.
Like, that's what those heavyweights, like, I mean, yeah, you just would.
You're in survival mode.
I mean, it's just like the same with those big, like, defensive ends that play football. You know, it's like, Try running outside on those guys.
Yeah.
They're just as fast as you are.
That's what's so scary.
Yeah. It's like, how?
Like, you got a 6'4", 240-pound linebacker that's running a 4.3.
Yeah.
That's a train wreck.
Yeah. Maybe I just do leg kicks.
Dude, you're breaking your leg on his leg. You leg kick him and he checks
I've seen fights where those guys, I mean, within the first round, they go to check their kick.
Yeah.
And it's over because they break their foot on their chin or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if my kicks would damage Francis Ngannou's legs.
Dude.
I mean, I would just stay the fuck away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would try my best. Like, I'd literally, like, I don't know, I may do something obscene just to get out, like pull my pants down. I would, first of all, I wouldn't even want to come down there and take my shirt off with them skinny draws on in front of the whole world. And then get your ass kicked, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the worst possible position that you could get in is if, for whatever reason, he got his hands on you and grappled you and got you on your back.
And you couldn't tap out.
And you couldn't, yeah, you can't tap.
Yeah.
He's either going to.
I would actually love to, I'm too old now, but I would love to, like, grapple with somebody who, like, knew jiu-jitsu. Yeah. I would like to see this whole, like, phenomenon of I'm going to get you in a move that no way you could get out of.
It's real.
I know it is.
It's real.
I know it is, but I want them to do it to me because my ego is like, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way I'll punch you in the dick.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna bite you. But they're like, no. There's no way you'll get out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really?
Make you not be able to move. Yeah. It's so funny because I used to think I was this little badass in, like, middle school and high school, and then I had a lot of my friends wrestled. And so that's, I mean, dude, on the weekends, man, a lot of, like, we would fucking, we'd just wrestle. And, man, I thought I was such a badass because I could just I'm strong, I'm somewhat strong. I can get angry and aggressive. And it's like, dudes who know how to wrestle and know somewhat of a technique, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You are literally fucked.
Yeah.
Those dudes are scary. Like, they're honestly, like, you think about it, getting into a fight with somebody at a bar or something like that. And it's like, if you get in a fight with the wrong dude who knows shit like that, you're fucked.
Yeah, you're done. Yeah.
Unless you somehow knock him out within a couple of seconds.
You got to get that surprise.
Yeah. That's all your only hope, dude.
You got to hit them with the surprise when they're not expecting it and hope that it lands and they don't retaliate. Yeah. It's like the Dazed and Confused where it's like, one punch and they'll break it up. You throw that one punch, you're hoping, like, everybody's
coming in.
I got my shot. Yeah, but no, I don't. Yeah, I was never one for wrestling. Like,
when it was basketball season, it was in.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when some of my friends wrestled in, like, middle school, and I saw that leotard. And I was like, oh no,
this ain't for me.
Oh no, no. Yeah, but I probably, with my body style, I probably could have been.
You could have been a good wrestler.
Probably could have been, and I've wrestled drunk with friends.
Right? Yeah.
But I only wrestled the ones I was stronger than. So I knew I could manhandle them.
Right.
But yeah, I just, to have all that, like, you as a UFC fighter, you can kickbox, you can box, you got the grappling, you can wrestle. Oh man, I mean, it's just kind of scary that, like, those guys, like, most of them came from absolutely shit circumstances.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get many guys that were raised in a median house income,
Right.
that's going
Right.
out there and fighting like that.
Right.
Those guys are there's a drive
For
that,
sure.
like, they don't want to go back to the poverty.
For sure.
You get a guy who comes in there that's like my kid that go fight somebody like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, it's just not there. It's
No,
just they don't have the
no.
same
They're
mindset.
just like
Same thing with the football players.
Yeah, they're killers.
They're killers, literally killers. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, it's why black people dominate sports.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
yeah.
it really. I mean, you look on the football field and the basketball field, and the competitive level with black people is so different than with a group of white people.
Yeah.
Like, black people will absolutely.
They're gonna risk it all.
They are going to risk it all, and they are going to dominate and talk shit.
Yeah.
And the white guy's kind of like, you know what? I'm going to go back to my comfortable spot right over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the same in
But
basketball.
yeah, and it's just and it creates something in your head that's just different. Like
Yeah.
you just don't have that same sort of mentality.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think a lot of people, depending on where you grow up, like that's their life.
Yeah.
It's like there's no other option,
Yep.
and they're gonna fucking hit you a lot harder than
Oh yeah.
this other dude that's got a bunch of options. That are like, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Seriously though,
Yeah.
that second thought comes up
Yeah.
real quick when you're
Yeah.
running 20
Well, it's
miles
like
an hour
my
at somebody.
best friend moved out to Nashville, or not Nashville. He lives in Nashville now, but he moved out to Burbank, California, to be a screenwriter. And a couple months went by, or even like a couple years went by, and nothing changed. Like I was like, "What's going on?" And he's kind of like, "Nothing," And I was just like, "Well, what?" His wife was a nurse, and I was like, most people that come out here are down on their luck.
Mm-hmm.
They've got 3 roommates and they're writing scripts and they got to do something to pay for the rent. But when your wife's making a shit ton of money, you just go back to that cush room.
Oh yeah.
Like, you're not in any hurry to
Right.
write the next great American
For
novel.
sure. For
So I was
sure.
like, dude, you gotta
Well, in some ways, it's almost like a gift.
Yeah.
To be in a really shitty spot because you're like, I don't have any other choice but to
What do you
go
have
up
to
from here.
lose?
Yeah. I
yeah.
don't have any other choice but to
But it's
get
like right
myself
now,
out of
like,
this.
would you go fight in the UFC?
Not unless I got into it and I was like, wow, I'm really good at this.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
make this happen. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you're good. You
I'm
got options.
comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I was out there on the street,
Yeah.
you're going to do whatever.
Yeah. If you're having to stand at the light.
It's literally in some ways a
Which,
blessing.
speaking of,
Yeah.
this just squirreled me off onto something. The homeless in this town, they're tricky little bastards. They're tricky little fucks. I got off at Shallowford Road exit the other night, and this lady played me like a fiddle. I'm sitting there at the red light, and I'm like, blue, whatever I tell you that restaurant was that took Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, yeah. Blue. What'd you say it was?
I don't
Blue Moon.
balls.
Blue. Yeah. I can't remember.
It's a burger joint
Yeah,
where the old Texas. Anyways, I'm staring at it, and then I look over to my left, and it's raining.
Mhm.
And this pathetic lady is sitting there, looks like she's crying, got a sign. I'm too ADD to read what it says.
Right.
But I felt bad for her. And I was like, God, and it was cold,
Mhm.
she's by herself. And I thought, she's playing me. In my head,
Mhm.
initially, I was like, she's going to go buy meth or cocaine.
Right.
And I was like, I don't even care. She can go get her cocaine. Anyway, so I was like, okay. So I gave her $20. She cries at my car, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do? I reach in my
Give her more.
wallet,
Yeah.
and I give her $40. So I've given her a total of $60.
Uh-huh.
And so she, thank you so much, thank you. And so then she doesn't even try to get any more money. She leaves. Like, she couldn't even grind out a full day of begging for money. And I
Played
wanted
ya.
to, but then, this gets even better. So then 3 or 4 days later, same light. She is standing out there with a dude that's got a satanic, what is it?
The pentagram.
On his
Yeah, a little
tattooed
pentagram.
on his neck.
Oh, yeah.
Same lady.
Oh, wow.
So I gave $60 to the devil. That's what I did. She couldn't even waste a whole day begging for money. I want my $60 back. And you podcast because you're begging for money at Shallowford Road, but
Jeez.
get your fucking devil shit off your neck.
The devil just stole $60 from you.
I did. And you know what's so funny is I was going somewhere to meet somebody for dinner, and I was bragging. I wasn't bragging, but I was like, I gave $60 to this. Oh, and then later, I just feel like the biggest dumbass.
Yeah.
I do that sometimes. Like when I worked downtown, you couldn't get away from it. It almost like make you mad.
Yeah.
At a certain point because you knew that they were just going to go right straight to the liquor store and buy money with it. But I gave a guy. I was parking in the sports barn garage one day to go. It was like lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
This guy came up. They give you their whole spiel. I don't care. I'm sorry. I'm not heartless, but it's like, I don't believe you.
Right.
But I gave him $100. He didn't even say thank you. He just took the money and walked off. Do you think he was so excited
That's great.
that he couldn't even respond? But I remember going, hey, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Nothing. But after that, I never gave anybody else any money downtown. I got.
At least you had good intentions.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, this building right here, like when it gets cold, we got to run homeless people off.
Yeah.
But it's cold, man. Like no matter how you got there, like
it's still cold. They're human.
I go to my house
still cold.
with a gated community, and I'm sitting there bitching about my bathroom leaking, and you got people out here that's I know they're up here trying to just stay warm and live.
Yeah.
And you're like, you hate to run them off.
Yeah.
But it's like, I can't make this a homeless camp.
Right. Oh, I know. Well, and this goes back to what we were talking about when we were talking about what's her name's podcast.
Cody Womp?
No. Why am I drawing a blank on her name?
Candace Owens?
Yeah, geez. I don't know why I was drawing a blank on her name. Yeah, and she brought up the thing about Rand Paul coming out with that report of where all this money's going, all this federal money. It's like, we're spending like $2 million a year to give cocaine to beagles to test some bullshit. And it's like, why the fuck did we not just send that money to help, homeless people? Give them a shelter, give like
something that politicians actually
Yeah. It's like, why you hear shit like that and it just makes you mad. It's like we see people out on the road. It's like that money could have gone to them in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. No, I hope that what he was saying was not true.
You hope, but I mean, like he's standing in front of
Congress
talking about this stuff.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that probably shouldn't be leaked to the common people.
Yeah,
like
seriously.
If you actually came out with a report that showed how stupidly the money's being spent, it's like because nobody's going to agree on where the money's been spent. So it's a lose-lose situation to leak that information out. It's like, you just like we said, you just, when you grow up and you don't really like, if you're not political or come from a political family, you just grow up thinking everybody has good intentions.
Yeah.
And then you find out they don't. And you're just like, holy shit. Like there's really like people out there that would spend $6 million to fund, like it's almost like the Black Lives Matter thing. Like that was such a good intentional thing.
Right.
And then the next thing you know, those guys are living in $zillion houses and they haven't spent any of that money towards any of the cause.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
And you're just like, it makes you hesitant to give money to anything.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, you just got to do it and hope. Because I just always used to say, like, I would never get into politics. I just trust that they know what they're doing and that I'm glad. Same with the military. Like I would never go in the Army, but I'm thankful that there's people that would do that.
For sure.
But now it's just like, dude, maybe I should have.
Well, it's just like it sucks that you feel as if you can't trust anything.
But there's got to be some politicians out there that their first priority is to actually make a difference.
Yeah.
And not to.
Well, you hope. Yeah, we hope.
We would hope that.
We hope. Yeah.
Well, we've always hoped. But it doesn't seem like.
Lost faith in humanity.
When you got those two running and that's your only options, you lose faith.
Yeah.
No matter what side of the fence you sit on.
I know. Yeah. It's like just try to pick the lesser of the two evils.
Because now it's like everything is turned upside down. Like the whole Democratic Party has gone kind of quiet.
Mm-hmm.
In my life or my circle of information, it's all gone kind of quiet, and now it's all fake news, CNN, MSNBC layoffs, and now it's going to be completely radicalized the other way.
Sure,
it's like, can we somehow just?
We can't, man. We can't meet in the middle.
Can we just somehow stay fucking sane?
Yeah, I know.
Like, why do we got to get so like just crazy on one side or the other? Because I mean, from what I saw, the left side went like Leroy left. I mean, it wasn't even left. It just went.
It went to outer space.
Yeah, and it was just like, that wasn't the Democratic Party that my parents told me about. Or my grandparents told me about.
Yeah.
You know, that was a totally different classification. Like you say, you only got 2 parties. Bullshit. Yeah. Because that was something else.
There's something. Oh, for sure. That was
something else. You can't have Kamala Harris not have a primary.
Yeah.
And just go. You somehow kick the old man out and put her in.
Why did that happen that way?
I don't know, but it is kind of crazy to me that they claim that democracy was dead with Trump when the most democratic thing to do was to let there be some sort of primary for the Democratic Party.
Right, yeah.
They didn't have it.
Yeah.
So that's the most undemocratic thing you can do.
Has anything come out like why they didn't do that?
No, I don't. I think they will stay so tight-lipped now about Kamala. I don't even know where she goes from this point. Like, you know, the fact that we had to listen to that garbage, like, you feel dumber.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I know.
And Trump too. Like, I mean, I'm not some big, you know.
Yeah.
You know what's so stupid? I'm gonna prove how stupid I am. I'm gonna prove how stupid I am. Like,
be careful what you say.
MAGA.
No
clue that stood for Make America Great
Again. How? You're lying.
I swear to God.
What'd you think it stood for?
I swear on everything.
What'd you think it stood for?
I had no idea.
You just thought it was just MAGA?
So I kept hearing like people using it almost as like a really bad slang
like a racial slur or something.
MAGA.
Yeah.
MAGA.
Right.
You maggot.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, MAGA. And I was like, I just thought it was like I thought it had to do with like, what was that thing that they were saying Trump stood behind, where it was like a 700-page document where it was like,
oh, the Project 2025 thing?
I thought it had something to do with that.
Yeah.
And so I just thought MAGA was like this just total radical Republican, crazy, like we're all fucking psychos. And then I Googled it one day and I was like, you know what? I hate to do this, even by myself.
I do still.
And I was like, MAGA meaning. And it said, Make America Great Again. I was like,
light bulb.
I really felt like the biggest dumbass on the planet. Yeah. But I was like, well, wait a minute. Everybody does want to make America great again. Like,
it's a pretty good slogan.
Yeah, MAGA. But I was like, you know, like Trump was like, my MAGA hat, MAGA this. And I'm like, it's MAGA. What is MAGA?
That's so funny.
I did. I told that to somebody and they're like, you're kidding. I was like, I swear on everything. I was like, I tuned out of the politics like the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Like when all the endorsements and the commercials, I would just hit mute.
Oh, that's when it gets annoying.
I'd hit mute. I was like, I can't listen to this shit. Yep. You know, they're gonna make World War 24. Like, she hates white people.
Yeah. Yeah. What is she even? She an alien?
Do we even know what we're arguing about anymore?
No.
Does anybody know what they're arguing?
I don't think so.
Like, what are the Republican podcasters going to talk about now? What are they going to talk about?
It's a good question.
I mean, I guess all this stuff with Trump appointing people.
Yeah.
With Robert Kennedy, you know, that's going to be pretty extreme.
Yeah.
It could be, anyways, based on his beliefs and all this stuff. He's going to be banning donuts and stuff.
Seriously.
I don't know what
I hope it's for the best, though.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
I think it just, I don't know. There's something about Elon Musk that makes me cringe a little. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, he just
being involved in politics. Yeah. Like, you know, you're great. You're great. Well, yeah, let's praise. But, you know, it's kind of like LeBron James. Like, you know, I don't want
to like just stay in your lane.
I don't want to hear your politics.
Right.
I don't care what your beliefs is. You are not to influence me. And you know, I hear the other side like they got to use their platform, you know, blah 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 blah, but I'm not going to love or hate somebody because of their politics.
Yeah.
But if you cram it down my throat, I just don't want to be around you. But like LeBron, I don't care.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, I don't care what you think. You live a totally different life than me.
Right.
Like you like LeBron James, like, dude, you have been recruited since you were 10.
Yeah.
Like, you've been given millions and contracts and stuff. Like, you don't live in the real world.
Yeah.
So, like, what 1% world that you live in do you have the right to tell me
Right.
how to vote?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good point.
Like, same from Beyonce, Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, they don't live in my
Y'all are
world.
living lives.
You
Yeah.
don't live in 98% of everybody's world.
Exactly.
So, like, how does your policies come even close to the policies that we're talking about?
Right.
Like, you look at it from a totally different angle.
Yeah. That's a good point.
This dude is not over here paying $200,000 in taxes.
Right.
You know, you are, so
Mhm.
you care more about a tax position.
Sure.
But yeah, that whole shit with celebrities, and then the amount of money that was said to be spent, like, is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
That's disgusting to me because, like, back to your point, like, why wouldn't you use the money that you were going to pay Beyonce? Because it didn't work.
Yeah.
You know, like, all that money you paid Beyonce, a lady, or what was the other one? Cardi
Dude,
B.
didn't Eminem come on there and dude.
And I've been an Eminem fan.
I know. Oh yeah.
And the fact that he came out from what is his song? He cleaned out his closet. He cleaned out his closet and came out of his closet to support Kamala. How much was that? Because there's no way he came out without millions and millions of dollars.
Oh, absolutely not.
They said they paid Beyonce like a crazy, like $50 million. And you think $50 million, what you could have used that for.
Yeah.
Like, every teacher in the country could have got a $10,000 to $15,000 raise.
Police officers, firefighters,
with all the money that
y'all increase that
you paid
Yeah.
these celebrities that already have mega million dollars.
Right.
And somehow they're supposed to listen to you.
Yeah.
Same way, and I'm not saying it like Kid Rock and Hulk Hogan too. Like,
oh yeah, on the other side too.
It's just as dumb.
Yeah.
You know? And
it is.
It's just like, there has to be a reason.
Yeah.
Like, there's some reason that it's probably like MAGA. I just don't know. You know?
That's so funny. That's hilarious. There's so many things like that though that like are just said day in, day out, and I do the same thing. There's just random things like, what does that actually mean? Like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I've definitely been in Google and be like, I feel really stupid even Googling this right now. But
especially when people use acronyms.
Yeah.
They get me every time. So a client I was just meeting with kept saying an acronym, and she said it like 7-8 times. And I was like, okay. She says it again, I'm asking.
Right.
She said it again. I go, okay, what's that? And she looked at me like I did not feel bad because I was like, I would have guessed a zillion times. I would have never guessed that.
Right.
But yeah, with acronyms, they get me every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like DOGE. The DOGE committee.
DOGE. Yeah,
the DOGE, the Department of Governmental Efficiencies.
Hey, that was nice. There you go.
I actually
do a little bit of reading on that.
You listen to 3 hours of Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And him talking about DOGE.
Oh yeah. Well, he loves Elon.
Yeah.
He loves Elon.
And I mean, that guy. I mean, obviously.
Oh, he's a genius.
He's a genius.
Genius.
He's got a freaking rocket.
He seems very level-headed, though, too. Like, when you listen to him talk about his political stuff, like, he seems very sensible.
Yeah.
You know? So.
But there's something.
Oh, I can totally see him getting pissed off and have his I get iRobot vibes from him.
I get Dr. Evil vibes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's the leader.
He's like stroking a cat.
Yeah. He's like, all right, y'all have really pissed me off.
Yeah, that's
activate.
Number 2. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, what does somebody like that has that much power and money do when you piss them off? And it seems like
a little scary.
It doesn't ever seem like he gets. Because you've seen him in interviews when people are kind of attacking him, and he never changed his mannerisms.
Right.
I'm like, this motherfucker is a robot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's an AI robot that has been planted here.
Seriously.
That has made a freaking rocket ship that can freaking reverse park.
Dude.
And it's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Let's talk about that car. Like, when you see that car,
the Cybertruck?
Yeah, what do you think?
I hate it. It looks terrible. I mean, I can't
swerve at him.
I can't. I don't know how anybody thinks that looks good.
Dude, every time if you drive a Cybertruck and you get swerved at by a black SUV, it's me, bitch.
Ryan J. Hood.
Yes, because they piss me off. I don't know. There's something about them where it thinks you think you're better than me, don't you?
Yeah. Well, it's definitely just like hey, I can go buy a.
Yeah.
But I don't even think they're that expensive, are they?
I think they're
like 80, 90 grand.
No, I think they're more than that.
Are they more
I think
than
they're
that?
like 150-ish.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
okay.
I think if you wanted to go buy like a Super Duty truck, you're going to pay the same amount.
Right.
I mean, I don't think they're outlandish. I don't think they're like
300 grand. Yeah.
It's not like buying a Ferrari or something.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that would not be my choice if I was going to spend 150
Absolutely
grand.
not.
You know, I mean, I guess it depends on where you fall on this whole clean energy, whatever thing.
Well, I just read something that said Trump is going to potentially try and roll back all those EV credits that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, potentially. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but
every time I see that car, I swear about it.
Yeah, I don't like it. It looks terrible.
They are becoming more and more in town. I mean, they're very easy to spot.
Yeah,
but there's I'm an Udawayan, and I've seen two.
Yeah,
so it's
Teslas are or the cars. Sorry, the cars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ridden?
I've never ridden in one. Yeah, I've heard they're insane, especially the one that can go, the 0 to 60s like almost 1 second.
Yeah.
I'd love to ride in one.
Like if you ride in one and you do the self-drive, like are you fully trusting that?
I don't know.
I ain't getting on the interstate.
I don't know, man.
You gonna merge over on the interstate with you self-driving?
Yeah, I think guys just.
He's just snoozing. Got Frank Sinatra on. The next thing you know, a plane crashing on Salford Road.
Yeah. How is it moving from aerial phenomena?
There's just so many variables when you're driving to be in a self-driving car.
Yeah,
because I'm an aggressive driver. I'm a very maniac driver. Like I want to get to point A to B as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking around. Like I don't want.
Yeah.
I'm not just Sunday cruising.
Right.
I don't care. Everybody can get over in front of me. Hey, you go ahead and get out.
Uh-huh.
No, I want to go and get there and be done.
Yeah.
So a self-driving car sounds miserable to me. Unless you want to give me a Tylenol PM or a Xanax.
I still don't even think like I could fall asleep with that. I would be so on edge.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would rather be riding with my wife or mom driving. They make my butthole.
Dude, the older I'm getting, the more I hate not driving or being in the car and not driving.
That's just a man thing.
Yeah. My patience. I consider myself a pretty patient person, and dude, if I am not driving, oh my god, my patience level, I can't not say something.
Oh no, you just gotta go to sleep.
Yeah.
You gotta take pills and go to sleep. Trust me, I'm the same way. I definitely can't ride in the car with my mom. My mom's about 4'2", on her cell phone or talking to me.
Oh,
she's
God.
trying,
okay.
It's like that scene in Dumb and Dumber. He's taking her to the airport. Yeah. My wife's she's just like she is in life. She's just a very
just cruising,
conservative, calm driver.
I can see
so
that.
when I want her to speed up, she can't. Because she's going to go, if it's 70 on the interstate,
65.
75, 76.
Okay.
No, we go 82.
Minimum 82.
Yes, because that gets you past the 80 drivers.
Right.
But it doesn't get you in the.
That's not like. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There was one time I made her drive the entire way back from Chicago.
Oh,
from
shit.
Chicago.
It's what, 11 hour?
Don't know, because I slept the whole
I think it's
time.
It's an 11, 12-hour drive.
Because I was like, and I woke up and I was like, why are we in traffic? She goes. She just like this look of just like, I will murder you. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to sleep. Just went back to sleep. Yeah, I don't even remember what we were, but I think we had driven to Indiana, went over to Chicago.
Yeah,
did some sightseeing, and then I was like, there was a deal made,
mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, if this happens, you got to drive the whole way back, and I won. So yeah, I snoozed the entire way back.
I've made that drive
to Chicago
4 or 5 times. Yeah, when we were doing the trucking thing, we had some accounts up there. Yeah, so I've driven that quite a bit.
So when you first get into Chicago, it's like the big tolls, right?
Right.
I'll never forget. I had to piss so bad, and she hit that toll, and I said, pull over. And she was like, what? I said, I'm going to piss my pants. And so we pulled over to the side, and I pissed right on the interstate by the tolls.
Wow.
That's what I remember about entering Chicago. And then I automatically like started remembering all the stories that I'd heard about Chicago about crime and getting shot.
Right.
And I get anxiety. I was like, I just want to get to my hotel. I want to get parked. I want to get in the room. I'm just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, we delivered basketball goals up there a couple times to actually one of Michael Jordan's gyms, like old high school gyms up there.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Why didn't I get invited?
Yeah. It was.
But I had to sleep in the low boy back
in the
then.
back. Yeah.
I would have sprung for the West End or something.
Guys, can we find a hotel?
Yeah. I know you guys want to eat Zaxby's and go in the back here, but we're gonna have a different trip. That's cool though.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's not every day. Because doesn't his house still like they can't sell his house?
Yeah, there's something weird with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's been on the market for years.
Yeah.
It's got the big gate and the 23.
Right.
I was like, I saw that one was for sale. The Home Alone house was for sale. And the what's the house? Lampoon Christmas.
Oh, okay.
It's like that's the same house as in Hocus Pocus or something like that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're like $12 million, $15 million. That Home Alone house is badass.
Well, the Home Alone house is pretty big.
Yeah, I think they had it for sale for like $15 million.
Dang.
$15 million.
Jeez.
Just to be.
Where's that at?
I think they're all in Illinois somewhere.
Okay.
I think I could be wrong. It's somewhere up north. They're not anywhere near.
Right.
Like I think the Home Alone house is like Springfield, Illinois, or somewhere like that, because that's where you got John Hughes guys from somewhere around in that area. But it had a full court basketball court in the Home Alone.
The Home Alone house?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
I think it's a lot bigger than the stairway and the
Right.
thing that they showed in the movie.
Right.
But yeah, I just that would be a cool house to live in. I could be like, you know what? If I had hit the lottery, Francis Ngannou ball punch me for $15 million, I'm going to buy the Home Alone house. Oh yeah, those are there. Dude, there's a $15 million house for sale in Chattanooga.
I believe it.
I forgot where it was. I saw it on Zillow the other day, and I was like, who the hell has a $15 million house in Chattanooga?
I believe it.
Is that like a logistics person?
Probably, yeah. I mean, probably.
I think it's up on the mountain.
Oh, okay.
I think it's on one of those mountain homes.
Probably Lookout. I think Lookout's probably got a little bit higher priced homes.
Was it?
Well, I'd say the majority of the homes, because, I mean, unless you're talking about just like the front side of Signal, because once you get further and further to the back, there's, it gets a little different with the home prices.
What? Lookout or Signal?
But Lookout, do what?
You talking about Lookout or Signal or both?
Signal.
Oh,
Signal. Yeah. I think concentration of just like really wealthy homes probably is going to be Lookout.
On the mountain.
Yeah, on the mountain.
I'm down here in the valley.
But then there's some pretty expensive homes over there in which there's tons of different wealthy neighborhoods. But what's that one over there in North Shore, right on the river?
Reunion. I know what you're talking about.
I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not surprised that there's.
You're talking about is it? No, not Reunion.
It's
That's
called
East Brainerd.
It's called It's over there in Rivermont, or beside Rivermont.
Taco Mamacita.
Right down. It's the neighborhood is.
We have some clients that live there.
Yeah.
They've got $5-6 million homes in there.
Yeah.
There's some big ass houses.
There's some big homes over there.
Yeah. And is it on the lake? Or they have some on the lake?
Yeah, it's right there on the river. Yeah. Some of that neighborhood sits like right on the river.
They always said, if you were from
the Enclave is the name of it.
Enclave.
The Enclave is the name of it.
They always said, Hickson and Saudi and those people, and they don't cross the bridge. That's what the saying always was.
Yeah,
like if you're from East Brainerd or Ooltewah, you don't cross the bridge.
Right.
So if you think of lake property, I would never think of Hickson.
Yeah.
Even though you can see it right across.
Oh, yeah.
You can see it right across the lake.
Yeah.
You see those big old houses.
Well, a lot of those properties, too. I mean, dude, there's.
How many times have you been on the lake and somebody said, I think that's Peyton Manning's house over there. Every time I'm on the lake, somebody shows me a different house. It's Peyton Manning's.
Well,
and I'm like,
don't we know somebody who just recently bought a place beside it?
No, dude, I don't think he lives here.
never actually had a house here. It was all a scam. It was all a scam. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was somebody said it and it just spread.
Surely he actually at one point had a home.
What I heard so I've heard everything. Every house that has been shown to me is Peyton Manning's house on the lake.
He used to own that house.
My thing is he built Thunder Thornton,
right?
Who is Knoxville, whatever,
Right.
you know, big UT guy. He built Thunder Farms, and then he built some houses along the lake. I heard that because Peyton's wife is from Chattanooga, that they bought a lot.
Oh, okay.
They didn't build anything on it.
Okay.
So I think if someone is telling you that that's Peyton Manning's house,
you.
they are incorrect.
They're incorrect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
That may be, you know, like some guy you went to high school, like Jim Manning's house. But it's not Peyton
It's not
Manning.
It's not of the actual Manning family.
No. I said that one time we were going out. I told my kids, I said, hey, there's Peyton Manning's house.
Really?
They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, but right there's Peyton's house too. Because, dude, you go out on the lake and you just see some houses where you're like, where is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, when you get out in the middle,
Oh,
you look both ways and you're just like, holy.
Well, what's crazy is like you look on one side and it's like, well, that's Birchwood. And then to get from here right across, jump over the river by road, it's like, dude, you're an hour away. It's an hour and a half drive.
From Ooltewah to Hickson by road is like an hour, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You go from the lake in Ooltewah to Hickson, 15.
Well, depending on where you're at, it's like, dude, it's almost just closer to run up to 60.
Yeah.
In Birchwood than it would be to go south and then cut over.
And go all the way to 153.
Yeah.
That's a horrid drive.
Yeah.
It's horrid. Yeah, I was actually looking at statistics the other day about, because I was like, how, as far as our client base, you know, the last 100 to 200 people don't feel like, I don't know the nice way of saying this, but they don't feel like Chattanoogans, you know, and you're like, you know, what is something in the water? Did the election kind of make people a little cuckoo? Yeah. And then I think it's just, somebody said a stat that we've had an influx of like 25,000 people. Yeah. And like a very, very short amount of time. That doesn't surprise me.
You know, so I've noticed, actually, now that you say that, I have noticed a bunch of Texas license plates.
Yeah.
All of a sudden in this
area.
Too,
because like I thought Texas was the.
Well, I mean, they, you know, they don't have income tax. Yeah. I mean, so I think a lot of people from like California, they hated California, moved over to Texas, Florida. So, I don't know, just all of a sudden I've just noticed that.
Feels like all the celebrities moved to Austin and Dallas and you know, no income tax. They got their MAGA people.
Oh yeah.
You know, all the conservative people in California are getting out. You know, they're not that. I don't think that lifestyle out there, because who knows? Like we don't keep up with California politics, but I've heard it's pretty bad. Yeah. You know, I've heard it's kind of. I mean, you talk about like homeless situations, and I think California has the most amount of money than any state. I mean, what is their income tax, like 10%?
It's
10 to 12%.
Yeah, it's 10
to 12% once you add up all the bullshit filings that you have to make for them.
Right.
Like their tax returns are god awful in California. But yeah, I mean, think about if you're making probably the average income out there is probably $700,000-800,000. Yeah. And you're paying 11% of that to 12% of that to California. Yeah. That's a shit ton of money.
Yeah. It's like over half your income's getting taxed some way. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, California from top to bottom, that's a big ass state.
Big state.
Yeah, but they just don't seem to get it together.
Yeah.
I mean, LA, like to go from one side of LA to the other is like what, 2 hours, 3 hours?
Yeah, it can take a while.
Like
the traffic. Like I've only been there once, but yeah, it seems that
it's
way.
It's not like, when you go to Nashville.
Right.
And there's a downtown Nashville and then they got suburbs. Like LA is like, you're going to go to the South LA. It's like, okay, that's 2 hours. Yeah. You're like, what? No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about taking a trip over after Thanksgiving to go somewhere for like try to get something done in 2 or 3 days. And I was looking at where we had direct flights to. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, we can't go West Coast because that would be 2 days in the plane pretty much. But we can go to Chicago, Dallas, Charlotte, New York. But have you ever looked at the times of the direct flights? They suck.
Oh, yeah.
They suck ass.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to New York. I'm taking my kid there in January, and we can't leave till like 8 o'clock at night.
Jeez.
I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's terrible.
It's like you got direct flights. Yeah.
Yeah.
At 8 o'clock at night, and you get home at 11.
Yeah.
So, in other words, I got to check out of my hotel at 3 and either go – and in New York. So, who knows how traffic's going to be. Yeah. I'm already bitching about it. We're not even going. That's what's great about me. I'm like, yeah. It's like what they say the extrovert turns into the introvert.
Turns into the introvert, yeah.
Like your extrovert is like, yeah. And then once you, like, it's the day of, you're like, no, I'm not going.
Uh-huh.
No.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to New York. What are you talking
Yeah.
about? Did I say I was going to do that? Yeah. And there's like 15 airports in New York too. Like, it's just, New York is so overwhelming to me.
I haven't been to New York yet. I've never been to New York.
Yeah. I mean, everyone should go to New York to experience it. But I mean, I think it just depends on what you're into. Like, you know, if I go with my parents and like they're into plays and Broadway and shopping,
right?
Not my cup of tea. You know, I want to see a ball game.
Right.
I maybe want to sightsee 1 to 2 things.
Yeah.
Like I walked out to the Statue of Liberty and they're telling me how long it was going to take to do this. And I was like, I see it.
Yep.
I'm good.
That's good.
Yeah. I don't need to drive out to it. I'm cool. I see. Oh, they're cool. I saw it when I was flying in too. I was like, good, you're done. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's just so different.
Yeah. Than what it is here.
Yeah. I mean, Chattanooga, you live here your whole life and you go somewhere like that and everything is like by borough and by block.
Yeah.
People on this block hate the people 2 blocks over.
Right.
Or this, you know, one community is all Jewish, one community is all Italian, and you're just like, what the fuck? I mean, to me, it's just so overwhelming because you're just like, there's so much to do, but it's all just crammed on top of each other. I mean, there are buildings on top of buildings on top of buildings. And it's like, I thought like Brooklyn would be like, you know, like the size of like Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
No, Brooklyn's like the size of Tennessee.
It's crazy.
It's like, you know, Brooklyn from one end to the other is its own city. It's got its own basketball team.
Yeah.
You know, it's got its own arena. It's got its own, I mean, it's just, because I'd never been to Brooklyn and I'd been to Manhattan. So, because when we go, we usually would stay in Times Square, which I hate.
Yeah.
Hate Times Square. There's not one American in Times Square.
Oh yeah.
No, there's no Americans in Times Square.
Okay.
And everybody's running each other over. It's my worst nightmare. But anyway, so I was like, we're not staying in Times Square anymore. So we stayed on the other side around like Fifth Avenue and the fancy smancy stuff.
Okay.
And we took a have you ever took Black Lane?
Mm-mm.
It's like Uber, but way better.
Oh, okay.
Way more expensive.
Oh, you were telling me about this. Yeah.
You text them, and you know, in New York, you know, you might have to go walk 6 blocks to an Uber pickup.
Mm-hmm.
Not with Black Lane.
Gotcha.
Baby, they're there. They're texting you, and they're there 20 minutes before and waiting on you.
Oh wow,
it's incredible, and it costs another $25-$30. But for me, I was just like, you get in one of them, and be like, hey, here's some money. Can you just drive us around for like a couple hours?
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, you find a driver that'd take that, and that's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Hop in and out of yellow cab.
Yeah.
You get murdered. You get murdered. But it's fun. I mean, it's an experience. I've never been to the Garden. I've never been to Madison Square Garden. I've been there 5-6 times. Never
that would be
seen
cool.
It.
Yeah.
So that's what she's just like, you know.
Just so much to do up there. That'd be cool.
There's a lot to do.
Yeah.
I always wanted to go to Rucker Park, but then now I'm too old to go play pickup. It would be kind of a, you know, it was like when we went to Venice Beach. I was way past any prime of playing a pickup game. And they had the triple rims.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. That's terrible.
Yeah. Nobody's shooting jumpers.
No, all layups. Layups and dunks.
That's street ball, baby.
Whew.
Yeah. I remember I played with my kids out there, and I think I went like 1 for 60.
Yeah.
And I was just like, did I get this bad?
I know I can shoot better than this.
Yeah, and I'm watching all these guys playing. I'm like, oh, nobody's shooting threes.
Yeah.
It's just all taking it to the hoop. But I'd like to see, because I think Rucker Park might be in Harlem. But see, that's another one. Like, Harlem's its own city.
Right.
And it's like, you don't want to go to, you know, like there's Harlem's making a comeback. It's like, well, I went through there.
Didn't look good.
It didn't look like that I needed to be there.
Yeah.
It looked a little rough. But yeah, it's, we need to go.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be a cool trip.
We need to go to New York and see a freaking, because, see, like, that was crazy, too, was we went to the Giants-Titans game. Well, the Giants play in New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And if there's some weird rule about if a cab takes you over state lines, it can't bring you back. I don't know.
So the Giants Stadium is in New Jersey?
Yeah, it's in the Meadowlands. Or, no, that's the Jets. Yes, but the Giants are in New Jersey. They're in the state of New Jersey.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I mean, you can't put a football stadium in the middle of Manhattan.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's in New Jersey. And I mean, the Jets used to be the New Jersey Jets. So I think both of them teams are actually in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's interesting.
East
I don't know
Rutherford.
how I didn't know that.
East Rutherford, because it's MetLife Stadium. It was the worst experience I've ever been to in a football game.
Oh, really?
It rained, ice cold rain.
Oh my God!
I had sprung for front row tickets. So it was me, my 2 kids, and Rachel. We have 4 tickets. I don't even know how much they cost. It was ridiculous. But I was like, it's the Titans. We'll never be here again.
Right.
It poured down raining, and my kids bitched from the first quarter on. And so my wife took them up to a restaurant and sat in a restaurant the entire game. And I'm sitting down there like, I'm not fucking leaving. I paid this much. And of course I have like the most soaked ass clothes, jacket, like a suede Titans jacket on. I feel like I weigh like 7,000 pounds. And we left, and like there were little tents along the way for you to stop in and get warm.
Yeah.
And there was at one point where I got nervous. Like I thought some shit was about to go down. I thought I was going to pass out. I was going to die of, some sort of hypothermia. And I just jumped in the first fucking Uber of a line about 75, 100 people deep.
Jeez.
I just got in the car. I mean, all these people were waiting on their Uber.
Right.
And he said, "Is your name so-and-so?" And I say, "Yeah." And it wasn't me.
We
got about halfway down the road, and whoever called him, he was about to turn around. And I said, "Please don't turn around. Please don't turn around. Please don't turn around." I said, Rachel, give me 100. So she gave me $100. I gave it to him. I said, "Hey, can you just turn that machine off?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "No problem." I was like, yes.
Cash is king.
Dude, I was the biggest asshole. I'm the guy that everybody was cussing out because I was like, and everybody else was cold.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I
in
thought
survival.
I was
Yeah, you were more cold. You're in survival mode.
I had 2 kids.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way I justify things. It's like, okay, if you don't have any kids, then you shut up and you get back there.
Right.
Like, I'm trying to but I was dying. I was about to die.
Jeez.
Yeah. We went to the Travis Scott concert there too.
Yeah.
I was in Brooklyn.
I told you about that. I knew that was going to be crazy.
Yeah. That was Dad of the Year.
Yeah.
I get Dad of the Year for that one. He surely will remember that for the rest of his life.
I'm sure.
Yeah. One, and that was one of those ones where I felt like I was going to have a panic attack, and I told him, "Hey, son, don't be a spoiled brat. If Dad says it's time to go, it's time to go."
Yeah.
And I hit that point once.
Well, it looked like y'all had good seats though. Y'all weren't like in the pit.
Yeah.
Y'all were, there was nothing.
We were protected by the security, and it was on a Saturday night, and they had already had a show Friday.
Yeah.
So all the bad shit went bad on Friday.
Yeah.
And so they amped up their security, and they knew the set list, so they knew when the songs would come on, when people would go nuts.
Right.
But there was only one time I got nervous, and that was when some Francis and Ganyu dudes came down there. Because most of the time people would come down from their seats and try to get closer and try to go out in the pit. And they would I was in like on the aisle seat. They would just literally try to stand in the aisle and scoop me over.
Yeah.
And so most of them, I felt comfortable giving them the elbow.
Sure.
The dickhead.
Yeah.
Dad elbow.
Out of the way.
Yeah. But there was 2 that came down. I want to give them that elbow too. I mean, these 2 dudes looked like 6'5", 6'6", good 300 pounds.
Yeah.
They looked like they would whip my ass if I gave them the old,
right.
Hey, I was like, "Oh no, come on. You want to stand by me?"
Yeah. Those are the ones you make friends with.
Oh yeah. You me get you a beer? I'll go stand in line for you. Get some popcorn, hot dogs. Yeah. But luckily the security guard, they kicked them up. But dude, that was when it was over. That was one of the biggest reliefs I've ever had walking out of that stadium. My Black Lane cab. Literally, that dude I texted him when I was in the concert. I came out, he's sitting there waiting on me outside the arena.
That's cool.
And we got in, and I was just like, "Oh, we didn't die."
I wonder if that's a New York only
No,
thing.
it's everywhere.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I first did it. Where did we go? We went to San Francisco. We did it there, but I've done it in Nashville.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You might be able to do it here.
Yeah.
I mean, all you have to do is get a SUV and be on time.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I don't know what the rules are, because there's all these rules like in New York with medallions and Ubers and they had to pay all this money because I'm pretty sure you get in trouble if you just solo it. Because I was telling you, like, we ought to
start. We
ought to go to the Sands in the Boot down there at Gulf Shores and just put a Hood's Nest, Uber, and just take people to and fro and charge them like $25.
Yeah.
$25. You know, there's drunk asses will do it.
Oh, absolutely.
I bet you could make 10 grand in that weekend giving people rides back and fro.
Easy.
I mean, yeah,
you could.
That would be the greatest. You just got to stay sober.
That's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you have to have no fun and be completely entrepreneurial minded. You know, that would be, yeah, we got to go to that. We got to figure that out. How long have we been talking?
Oh, wow. It's almost 5.
Did we start at 4?
What time did you get out of that meeting? Almost 3? No.
Somebody's calling you.
We've been.
Oh, damn. You know it's time to go.
It's over. It's about over an hour for sure.
When the women start calling, you know it's time to go.
Oh, yeah.
Like Rachel's already called twice. Jeez. Is that your woman calling you?
It is.
You can't drive.
Hopefully she doesn't watch this. And she'll be like, I saw you. You ignored my call.
Nobody's listening this far into it. Yeah. Everybody that has ever talked to me about this, they're like, yeah, we watch like 20 minutes.
20 minutes of it.
We watch like 15 minutes. Maybe the first 20 minutes, we just need to be absolutely insane.
To the point. Yeah.
Or just insane. Just cussing.
Yeah.
Pull our pants down.
We got to do something. We got to get our viewers
We got to get a guest on.
Yeah, I think so.
We got to get a guest because then that would bring their people on.
Yep.
But
maybe we should talk about.
I'm just glad to bet. I mean, I'm in the office every day. So anytime you.
It's true.
You know what's bad is when you get so irritated with doing your job that you start telling people how irritated you are about doing your job.
I think that's when you get past the point where you just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I catch myself doing it, and in the process of doing it, I'm like, stop it, Ryan.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Think about how you think when they're telling you.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But I can't help it, man. I got on the call with somebody today. And with it, before the guy even started talking, I started bitching about my job. I own the company. I was just like, gosh, damn, dude, November's a bitch. Oh, God. And he was like, huh? I was like, oh, no, sorry, man.
Sorry, I have blacked out there for a second. Yeah.
I think I've said that to like 4 clients.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if I'm expecting, you know, like sympathy or why I'm telling them.
You're just venting.
Yeah, there's a part of me that wants to tell them this isn't necessary. You know, like, is it really necessary that we're doing this right now?
Yeah.
And, you know, that's kind of what I want to say, but that doesn't come off right.
Yeah.
But that's how I feel.
Well, there definitely are some people that are doing tax planning that don't need it.
Oh,
100%.
I mean, you know, if you pay for it, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you think it's a free service.
We'll run the numbers and tell you the same numbers as you probably already knew.
Well, the perfect example of an in-person versus a phone call would have been today.
Today, yeah.
Like, you turn a 10-minute conversation is a 2-hour in-person meeting.
Oh, yeah.
And, and most of the time when you meet in person, it's not documented. And so there's going to be another planning afterwards.
Sure.
So that's what wears and tears. Man, when I worked at big firms, we didn't even work in November. Partners took up the whole month of November.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Which is crazy to me because even if you're a partner at a big firm, you have to have a list of clients that you're doing planning for, right? In November?
You think, yeah.
Like you can't crunch that all into holiday December.
Since I've been doing, which is obviously not as long as you've been. Dude, November and December have always been just
crazy.
Balls to the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, you have a short amount of time and you're pretty much preparing the tax return based off interim information.
Right.
So like in March and April, it's final. Like it is what it is. Done. Like you're not guessing, you're not scenarioing.
Yep.
You know, it's just like, hey, tax return done, filed. Yep. Now it's like, oh, well, you need to buy this, or you need to do this, or you need to do that. It's a very short amount of time. To do that, but. Whew. You know, the best is the client that makes a lot of money and wants to pay 0 taxes.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
How do we make that 0?
You need to talk to Elon Musk.
Yeah, you do.
His department.